Wow, it's fantastic news that Kimi's back on the grid. We've now got 6 world champions. It's exciting times, let's put it that way. Um, what do I make of his return? I think it's good. It's great to have him back. He shouldn't have left in the first place. The main thing that I think is going to be overcoming over the coming months, obviously with testing in the first half of the season, is to fit in with the Enstone-based operation at Lotus F1, and also get used to the changes. And there's quite a lot of changes. You know, we've got no more exhaust blown diffuser. We've got the introduction of KERS and DRS as well, and obviously KERS was in 2009, so Kimi would have had experience with that system. But then when you're trying to manage, on top of all the the constant adjustments that an F1 driver has to make, brake balance bias, wing adjustment, drive shaft ratios, fueling, KERS systems, and all that sort of stuff. I think he's pretty much up to speed because of the 750 kilometres of testing he's done in the 2009 Lotus or Renault R30. I don't think he'll be challenging for titles this season. I think he'll challenge for podiums because he's still very quick. He's only been out of F1 for 2 years, but I think the biggest stumbling block for him will be the Pirelli tyres. A big change from the Bridgestones. The Bridgestones used to last, so we'll obviously see how he's going to adapt to that as well. Rookie of the season for 2012. I'm not going to say who I think it will be on driving ability because they're both very capable. Both great young Frenchmen, great talents. Great to see France having a driver renaissance in F1. Obviously, with those two, but also Romain Grosjean, who'll be partnering Kimi at Lotus. If you're going to talk about machinery alone, you've got to say that Jean-Eric Vergne has got the advantage. I mean, he's in an established team. It's got a great power plant with the Ferrari engine, which is fast, reliable, and also, he'll be they'll be looking to make sure that Jean-Eric actually delivers, and consistently delivers, because obviously he's got a fellow competitor, but also his teammate for 2012, which is Daniel Ricciardo, who is also Red Bull backed. So I think on machinery alone it'll be Jean-Eric. I mean, on driving ability, I'm not going to make any comments yet because I've got to see how they do on the track. I mean, if Jean-Eric is mediocre and then Charles just comes out of nowhere and just drives the car beyond its capabilities and drives out of his skin, then I think he'll take the rookie title. But I think all I can say is let's just leave it for them to just to battle it out on the track and see how they get on this year. Third driver roles for drivers, obviously. Yeah, the majority of those people that you've mentioned, I mean, Daniel, Pedro, Bruno, Nico, and Romain. I mean, Romain, he was. I mean, Bruno. Technically, when he got into the Lotus Renault in last season at Spa, he wasn't really then considered as a third driver. He was more of a race, an official driver for the team. Nico. Very, very good driver. I mean, obviously with the Williams, in the Williams in 2010 in Brazil, getting that pole, fantastic, but then having to sit on the sidelines for a year. I think with these drivers like Jerome and Sebastian Buemi that have moved into third driver roles, I think it's good that they're able to do that, and it gives them an opportunity. But then you then got to think about people who haven't made the move up to F1. I mean, let's take for example Sam Bird, an accomplished driver, nevertheless. For the last couple of years has been testing with Mercedes AMG F1 in the young driver tests for the last 2 seasons at Abu Dhabi, I think, and he should really deserve a crack at a race seat. So it just goes to show that not everyone that gets into a third driver role is going to be assured of a seat next in the following season or the season after that. Sandbird is one case in point. Obviously, you're getting people coming up the ranks like Jules Bianchi, a great French prospect, heavily linked with Ferrari, and is now the third driver with Force India. So it remains to be seen, obviously, depending on how Felipe Massa does this season, whether we're going to see Perez move up to Ferrari, because he's also an FDA driver, let's not forget, and Jules might end up taking his seat at Sauber. If I could have any other driver return to Formula 1. Well, let me just show you something which puts everyone's mind at rest on that one. Yes, this guy. I'll tell you why. He was passionate, he was determined, he would do whatever it took to get where he needed to be. And that determination, that passion, that belief, self-belief, not just in himself but also in God, as clearly shown in the documentary, he got 3 world titles and is still today, 20 years later, he is the youngest ever triple world champion in Formula 1. Obviously, we're going to see that season, that record probably broken in the next couple of years with Sebastian Vettel. But I mean, Senna had guts, he had balls. I mean, he wasn't afraid to say what he needed to say. I mean, take Japan, Suzuka 1990. I mean, obviously they switched pole position to the wrong side of the track, the dusty side, and Senna went for the gap, and Prost knew he was coming, and they both went off, and Senna won the title. And Ayrton was very open, and he said, you fight, you bust your balls to get on pole, and then they'd switched pole position to the wrong side of the circuit. It was unfortunate in those days because Alain was big friends with Jean-Marie Balestre. Well documented that that they were both both Frenchmen, both very good friends on and off the track, and Alain had the the politics in the palm of his hand, let's say. But Ayrton, I would love to see back in Formula 1. It's nearly 20 years since he was taken from us. But I think if he was to come back, he needs to come back in the machinery he drove in. You can't have him driving, cars that are heavily technologically advanced. I think if you put him in the machinery, he would obliterate anybody that was in his way. It wouldn't matter whether it was, like the technology of 1980s, 1990s, but also current day technology. I'm sure he'd get acclimatised quite quickly because he was a very quick learner. So in my honest opinion, Ayrton Senna, without a shadow of a doubt. I would love him to be back in F1 because the movie brought back so many memories. I was a big fan of his, and he was fast, he was courageous. I mean, he just didn't really give a damn about what anybody else thought, and spoke his mind. Unlike a lot of drivers nowadays, where they're not really able to do it. But Ayrton was controversial, yes, I know. He was a fantastic driver, the likes of which I don't think we'll see for a long, long time to come. So yeah, I'd love Ayrton to come back.